What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the preview. Another preview. It's going fast, but it's basically not the last one, but it's the last week of football before we head into the international break. So it's gonna be a very important week for us. Going into the break, you hope, or like I hope, I'll say I hope, to go into that break with a very positive feeling, especially in the Champions League. Be more at ease. Can talking about qualification and even top 8 right now, just in general qualifying without any real issues, considering the games we have coming up, but also in the league, on Saturday, to wrap that up with a positive feeling, because after that we come back against Milan as well. So it is a big week for us. It is a big week, and I think we need some answers. That's why I titled it. Well, I messed up the title, I can see. Time to step it up now. But we need to step up. The last couple of weeks have not been fantastic, especially the way we play. It's not been good. We are slow. We haven't looked solid. We have looked without ideas most of the games. We have looked a bit disjointed, and that all came down to maybe issues in terms of players missing, but also choices being made, choices on a weekly basis, a lot of changes, all these things basically. And that's what Mota got asked about as well in the presser, because I think everybody's kind of picking it up that, it's okay to rotate, but if you're building a new team and you're rotating so much, I think at one point it becomes difficult to control everything and control games on a three, I don't know, I want to say on a weekly basis, twice on a weekly basis, basically. We're not really good at it. The Udinese game was good. It was good in terms of we controlled that game. Maybe not the second half as much as we would have hoped for, but we didn't concede anything, in my opinion, besides them hitting the crossbar. So as far as giving up chances, we controlled that game, I guess, and the game was over at halftime. Or I had a feeling it was over at halftime, so that was a good performance. But now you go to Lille, and it's different because in the league, Lille is not having an unbelievable season in the league. You can look up the league stats. It's not fantastic. It's not, oh my god, what a season they're having in the league. So it's not that's not the case. But they've beat Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid home and away in the Champions League, and that's massive. That's absolutely massive. And that Real Madrid game, they did not stole that. The Atletico game, you might say with the penalty and the way it got given, they stole that. But I think they played a fair game as well against Atletico from the extended highlights I've seen. By the way, I watched a bit of the Real Madrid game, not enough to make up my mind. I watched quite a lot, I would suggest. Not the 90 minutes against Lyon. They are a very mobile team. They can attack. They are quick on the counter attack. They love to try to keep possession, a bit like we try to do that. They will come at you. They will not sit out that game. They have nothing to lose. They beat Real Madrid, they beat Atletico. They have nothing to lose. They will come at us. Like Stuttgart did. I think Stuttgart does that with a bit more of intensity, in my opinion. But there will be space. I've watched the Lyon game as well. There is space. They leave space in behind. Defensively, they're not all amazing. That's it. However, we had that space against Stuttgart, and we had nothing going. For 90 minutes, there was absolutely nothing. So it's up to Motta and the team to figure out a way to actually bridge that, and actually capitalize on the opportunities these opponents give you. I thought at the start of the season we were good at it. Right now, we struggle to even, read the game properly and, find the spaces. And on top of that, not find the spaces, but do something with it. Don't mess it up. Don't give the ball away like we did against Stuttgart. The moment we tried to build something, we lost possession because we couldn't play out from their press, which was weird because there was enough quality out there to do so, to play out from the press, So that's Lille. That's Lille, basically. So it won't be an easy game, but we should not be shying away from it, obviously. I think excited. I can't wait for the game because I want to see if this team will respond, to the criticism, the fair criticism, and the issues we've had over the last couple of weeks. Will they step up, knowing and understanding the moment we are in the season, especially considering the Champions League, or will they just go ahead and play the way I've been playing basically the last couple of weeks? I will talk about the starting lineup in a second. Lille is a dynamic team. I consider him the second best team in France, even ahead of Monaco. Slow is not acceptable in this game. We need to up the intensity. Oh yeah, the intensity needs to, nobody should be shying away from actually getting in there. I thought that was also an issue against Stuttgart. We were late on everything, and even when we were in an advantage, we still lost so many second balls, and that cannot happen. Otherwise, you're just not gonna get out of that pressure at all. And we need to get out of that pressure because that's the only way we will break them down in terms of actually creating some sort of chances. Otherwise, it's going to be a very long 90 minutes again. So that's on him, and that's on Lille. That's on Motta to figure it out. But let's go into the presser. It wasn't the longest of pressers, but the theme of the presser was basically him telling the media or the fans, however you want to look at it, that he's in control and he backs every decision he makes because he believes every decision he makes. He doesn't make them for fun or whatever, and that everybody kind of needs to calm down a little bit, and just go with it for now and see where this goes, this journey goes, So he said, I believe that giving responsibility to everyone is a result of the work we have done. We do every day, analyzing opponents and what we see during training. This is my way of reasoning. Every time I want to choose the best player, the players that I think will work best for the game ahead of us. That's cool. And I think that's obvious. That is what he's doing now, that he goes from game to game and he thinks, okay, in this game I need Fagioli more than a Locatelli, or I need a Weah more than a Conceição, so I'm going to play this and this. But at one point, you just need to believe that your idea, your identity is better than the opponent's one, and you're going to oppose that on the opponent. We're not there yet. I get that. But that mindset, in my opinion, needs to start building that these are my 11 players. I want to play this style of play, and I'm going to impose my will on the opponent. And that's what's going to happen. No matter if we play Lille away from home or we play Venezia at home. This is us. This is our identity, and this is how we're going to play. If you're overthinking it too much, and I have a feeling he is overthinking it a little bit too much right now with the changes and adapting to teams, the process, in my opinion, will just get longer and longer and longer. Now, I do believe that he puts the players out there with full belief that they will deliver, even when it comes to Danilo. I think he actually believes Danilo will deliver a good performance, but I think we all know that's just not going to be the case. It hasn't been the case for ages. It probably has never been the case to an extent where he was that, good that it was like, wow, you need to play a player like Danilo. So maybe he learned, and he learned the hard way that you cannot play Danilo. You cannot rely on Danilo in certain games. But I do believe that if he starts Mbangula, he believes that for that moment, Mbangula is the best option, and Mbangula will deliver because he believes that he will deliver. So I don't think he's making choices purely because he likes a player, like I thought was the case last season. But he goes game for game. He goes game to game. That's very obvious right now. He said all matches are important, even those we play in training as Juve. We always want to win, regardless. However, it's important to improve and give something more every time. Tomorrow we face a team full of confidence who have beaten two big European teams. And we must be in top condition and give our best possible performance. Every time, he knows that it's it is a process. We don't know where this is gonna end, but I think he knows and he understands that at the end of the day, you're still coaching Juve. You can come out at the end of the season and be like, "Hey guys, it's a process. Stick with us," and probably a lot of fans will stick with you. But if you finished fifth, I'm just saying something, and you've lost 8 games in the season, then a lot of people are gonna say, cool, but this is still Juve. You can be in a process, but it cannot be this poor. I think he understands that, which is good, because if you're at Juve as a coach, there needs to be pressure. you know, because this is the club. You know, you need to win. The aim of the game for everybody is to win, obviously, you know, that even for Venezia or for Cagliari, but for us even more. Like, that's it. That's most of the people, not most, a lot of fans became a fan of the club because we were winning. You know, if you did not grow up in a household supporting Juve, you became a Juve fan because probably you saw us winning. Like 90% of the chance you saw us winning. The 10% of the chance is you like the player, some Dybala, some Ronaldo, I don't know, you know. But other than that, it's you grew up a fan or you became a fan because we were winning and you saw us winning and you are like, okay, I know people who became a fan of the club because of the final against Barcelona. That's when they became a fan of the club. That's it. You know, it's not that long ago. What is it, like 8 years now or something? But that's the moment they just enjoy football, and that's the moment they pick a team purely because it was a fantastic team to watch. You know, it had everything. You know, it just had everything, and that's the moment they picked to be a fan. You know, because we're winning stuff. Most of the people do not become a fan of a team who's losing again unless you grew up into it, basically. So we understand that, and that's good. You know, pressure should be applied on every coach, no matter what your name is, no matter if you just joined the club. I don't care. Pressure should always be there to win and perform, basically. Then he talked about the game, or just football in general, because he was asked the question again in terms of, is Serie A different to Champions League? And, you know, people, the chat is behind. I'm sorry. I will read it out, but it's all coming in, I don't know, 2-3 minutes late for some reason. So apologies, but I'll read them out in a second. He said there are no favorites in football, regardless of previous results. I'm sure that both we and they will do our best, just as I hope that we will put a good show and the victory will go to whoever deserves it most. Talking about favorites the day before the match makes no sense. Like, as a club, you cannot do that. You know, I get that. Unless you're playing Venezia at home, with all due respect, you're the favorites. Like, and you can come out and say we're the favorites. I get it. We fans, we can do that, and we must be doing that. You know, because that's how fans work, I guess. But we need to respect. Like, right now, we need to have an assumption of we're not better than anyone right now. Like, where we are. What is it? Month 3, 4. With new players, a young team, a young coach, unexperienced coach still in Europe in this situation with an unexperienced squad, you know, we need to understand that Lille played European football last season as well. Like, they have more experience. If you do not even want to admit to it, it's the case. Like, that's the case right now. It's not a shame to just basically say they are potentially more experienced than us. You know, that's what it is, I guess. However, like he was suggesting, you should not be shying away from it. You should not be scared. That's what he said, I think 3 weeks ago before the game. He said, you never should be scared of playing a game. It's, at the end of the day, it's football. Like, even if you play City at home, as a group of players, you cannot be scared. It's football. Like, you're not going to, I don't know, you're not going to fight somebody. You're just going to play football. That's what he was trying to say 3 weeks ago. And now he's basically saying that there are no favorites. I think he understands that right now, as much as he and we love to say we are the favorites and we're going to smash Lille, we're not in that place right now. We're absolutely not in the place. So he understands that. I think we need to understand that as well. And then he talked about the team, saying that we don't think about the calendar. It's a young team or a short time to prepare for a match. We have a good spirit and dedication both on the pitch and in training. We have to adapt according to the conditions, according what the conditions are. Today and tomorrow we have time to continue preparing the small details for tomorrow's match. We're ready. The most important thing is to maintain the right attitude. That's what he had to say. Liu, no. Where can I get the link for Juve Corner channel on the last video? I can't find it. That's weird because it's in it. I will check it out in a second. Otherwise, type in Juve Corner cast in YouTube and you will find it as well. I need to check it because I definitely put it in there. So I'll check after the stream. Stuttgart destroyed us. I don't expect the same with Lille. We're not going to lose, in my opinion. No, I like Stuttgart are better than Lille, in my opinion. They are more in your face. They're more intense than Lille. But they try to play a similar style or approach where it's quick, where they want to keep possession, but the pressing is not as intense as Stuttgart. It's not. I forgot Danilo suspended. Another reason why we win. Yeah, he is suspended, which is good. I don't expect Danilo to play another game in the Champions League. If that means we're out of, if he does, that means we're out of out of center backs. Well, I hope you're right, but I would not put money on it right now. Crucial game that we need to win. Notice that our result and performance have generally been better from home. Away from home, what do you think that is? I have no idea. I was actually thinking about it today. I was like, we look better away from home for some weird reason. I don't know what it is. I have absolutely no idea what it is. You know, I cannot even explain it because we played we played Parma and Cagliari at home. Like, it shouldn't be the case, and it's still the case. We look better away from home, and I have no explanation for it. Absolutely none. Like, it's not that, there's no fans or whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. January will be crucial for the end of the season. We need to move. We need the moves to hit. Depending on what we will do in January. Less pressure away from home. I'm gonna say more pressure away from home. I don't know. Like, you're playing a hostile environment at home. It should move at ease. Like, that's how it has been for us for ages. That at home, everything just is at ease because you're at home. You're calm. You know, the fans are behind you, and that at one point, I don't know how many games, like 20 games we lost at one point ever since the stadium opened at home. Like, I don't know what is the case, but that has never been the case, you know, for us. You know, it only started like 2-3 years ago maybe that we started dropping more games at home than we usually did, especially losing. But I don't know, maybe it's because it's unexperienced. The team is still we have a relatively young squad, you know, to be honest. You know, we're playing with Savona, who's a next gen player. Like, Danilo, who is the most experienced player in the squad, he's not playing most of the time, despite the last couple of weeks. We have a squad with, I don't know, not a lot of experience. So maybe that's the case, but it remains strange that we look better away from home than at home. It remains strange no matter what. But yeah, let's move on to the lineup. Because I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this preview. It is what it is. Like, it's a must-win game. We need to win. We need to show up. But this is a predicted lineup. I was almost going to say, because I was planning to do the live much earlier before the predicted lineup came on. And I was going to say, I have a feeling he's going to stick to the team. Maybe change one, and that one would be Conceição. And I was almost right, but he changed at the back something. So it's the same theme as on the weekend. It's only Conceição comes in for Timothy We, and Cabal replaces Savona and Cambiaso move. So is that the right decision? I don't know. Like, for Conceição, I think it is. I think we should be starting Conceição. But with Cabal, I'm not going to change my opinion. And I know it's maybe reactionary. It's one game. I feel more at ease right now with Savona, Cambiaso, Gatti, and Kalulu. That's not me saying that's the way to go forward forever for the remainder of the season. But right now, where we looked unbalanced for a couple of games, where we looked all over the place, we looked vulnerable, and so on, I felt more at ease when these guys played. And this is not a hit. Like, this is not knocking down Cabal, because when he played well. It's just, it felt like it was more balanced the way we played over the weekend with that setup. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. So it's, I won't call it a gamble from Thiago Motta, but it's a decision he made, and hopefully it pays off. You know, other than that, I think everybody would have picked. I think somebody asked, Gio asked at the beginning, Thuram or McKennie for Lille. I will start Thuram, in my opinion. But yeah, like, the good thing is there's a lot of consistency with that lineup. So that's that, I guess. But yeah, that's the lineup. These are the guys that are gonna need to show up. I expect a lot from Quote Miners in that game. I expect more from Quote Miners. I expect Yildiz to have an impact. I expect Vlahovic to weigh on that Lille's defense. You know, I expect Thuram and Locatelli to control the midfield. That's what I expect. And I expect that backline to be solid enough to overcome that game, you know. So yeah, that's it. You know, match day 4. We cannot lose this game. If we lose this game, we are in trouble. And not even, I forget about top 8, just in general, to qualify, it gets more sticky because you have Villa and City, and then you have Benfica, Bruges and Benfica. Still, like, the pressure is immense if you lose this game as well. So you can absolutely not lose this game. You can't. We need to have something. Despite the point, we also need to have a positive result, a positive performance. Because right now, if you do not beat Lille away from home, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm like, fine. But it needs to be a good performance where I'm like, at least the performance was good, so we can move on and build on this, But we can 100% not lose tomorrow. Otherwise, it gets sticky in the Champions League. It really does, I wish we could play Man City now before the break. They seem tired and slow lately, too many injury. Yeah, but so did we. We'll probably cancel that out as well. Villa seemed tired as well from what I've saw against Spurs. Yeah, I didn't watch. I watched. I had the first half on, but I didn't really pay attention to that game. I maybe watched 10 minutes of the first 45 and then turned it off, and it turned out to be a fantastic game in the second half. But yeah, it wasn't a good half from what I heard and I watched. But again, that's for after the break. Right now, it's Lille, and we need to get something positive out of that game. So yeah, prediction time. I'm gonna go with 1-1. I'm gonna go with 1-1. Because I have a feeling it will be a draw. That's basically it. I don't think we're in I'm not in a situation where I can say be confident and say we're gonna beat a team away from home in the Champions League. I'm not. But we shouldn't be losing against Lille as well. Like, we should be able to get something over the line against Lille. Like, that's just my opinion. Yes, they beat Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, but we still need to be more capable enough to get something out of that game. So that's my prediction, 1-1, and hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully I can come on tomorrow and we had a fantastic game and we won it and we move on to the derby and we try to wrap up this week before the break in a very positive way, but the proof is in the pudding. Right now it feels more no than yes. So no, the other time you made the same prediction as me, it came through. Well, change your prediction then, Alex. Put a 2-1 win. We need this win. Yeah, like, I need this win. Like, we all need this win. I'm purely thinking about the standings in the Champions League. Performance-wise and mindset-wise, if it's a 1-1 but a very good performance, I think that will do wonders to the team as well. But purely for the Champions League qualification, a win will be amazing. Like, amazing. A loss will be an absolute disaster. Like, a real disaster, because you can go into the final two games of the Champions League with, I don't know, 7 points maybe, and that's crazy, because away to Villa and at home at City, it's tough. It's really tough. So it can get sticky really quickly, and you can go from euphoria, Champions League qualification, to wow, we're on the brink of actually not making it, because the games are tough. The games coming up are tough, So let's see what it will be tomorrow. But that's it, That's it for my preview. I'll be back tomorrow for my reaction. Wednesday, live breakdown, and then I will be live again Friday the next time to preview the Torino game, and then wrap this week up before the boring international break. But it's the last one for a while, so we'll probably deal with it. But yeah, that's it for me, people. Have a good evening, and stay safe as always.